We are deeply concerned about what is happening to our founding president and former presidential flag bearer, Dr. Besigye. What started as a legal process has now become political persecution. Dr. Besigye, we all know, gave much of his life to the service of this country. In the Bush War that brought NRM to power, and having been a personal doctor to President Museveni, in government and after he left government, even as a presidential candidate, he put forward proposals on health, education, governance, agriculture, social protection that have gone to shape public policy and improve people's lives. The political differences should not erase that record for sure. If the state truly has overwhelming evidence against Dr. Besigye, what is the harm in letting him be represented by a lawyer of his choice, including a lawyer like Martha Karua, who was deported when she had come to represent him in court? A government with a strong case has nothing to fear from a strong defense. Denying him that choice tells the public something is not right. After all, even the Constitution gives him the right of presumption of innocence. We should also recall that Dr. Besigye is the most prosecuted person in Uganda. He has faced more than 500 cases, and not a single one has produced a conviction. This also leaves a lot to be desired. Politics must be left out of the courts. The law should take its course, because no one in Uganda should be above the law, and this cuts both ways. Even those who feel untouchable today will one day need a fair court. It is so unfortunate that Dr. Besigye is being tried in absentia. Right now, as we speak, he's under ICU, intensive care unit, at Mulago Hospital. And when you're in ICU, you are near to death. But the heartless state, represented by the presiding judge, will go ahead and try him. I'll not even say in absentia, but try him in ICU. They are literally condemning him to death and torturing him to death. The other political prisoners as well, facing the same wrath. Where did the morals in this country go? I think this must really stop, and we condemn it with the strongest possible terms. Call the former speaker, Anita Among, now needs a fair court more than most people in this country. She has also been placed under incarceration now more than 3 months. Kaiura, who once mobilized goons to attack the courts, later needed justice from the very courts he had abused. And many more. Every Ugandan will need justice from a court at some point in their life. We must respect our courts and give them the respect they deserve, because none of us knows when he will need them. It's a matter of time. No condition is permanent. Today you are president, today you are first son, today you are minister. Tomorrow you will be a convict. And you will also be crying for justice. What happens when your turn to be arraigned before the same courts come and the public judges you harshly? Will you feel negated? I think this is a moral question that should come to all of us. We want to call on the army to stay out of politics and stay out of this case in particular. There is a reason to why this court is before the civil courts and not the court-martial. Chief of Defense Forces tweeted that he wants Dr. Besigye hanged and that he will only leave Luzira in a coffin. This was quite unfortunate. And he'd said this while the court process is still going on. This amounts to subjudice. And whatever the court decides here, if it twists in line with that comment, the people or the general public will believe that the outcome was influenced by the CDF, even if the process itself is done properly. Soldier's opinion on a pending case has no place in the public record because it is subjudicial. Ugandans should know that when politics fails us, the courts are where we turn for justice. That is where every side that feels unfairly treated in an election ends up asking for fairness. We must protect that system because it is the last table of justice available to all of us, regardless of which side we stand on. We ask Mr. Museveni to reflect on Dr. Besigye's contribution to this country, and most especially him having been his bush personal doctor. It means that Museveni's life was in his hands. He could have chosen to sedate him forever, but he chose to give him a life. Let him reflect on that and reconsider his emotions towards Dr. Besigye. Nobody would be happy to be put in the place where Dr. Besigye has been put at the moment, and more so placed under the ICU. It's the last place anybody would desire to be at. I saw the spokesperson of the prison services insinuating that Dr. Besigye's health was okay and that too much anger made him to collapse. But what kind of anger is that would make somebody to go up to ICU? If it was a matter of anger, then why did the Luzira prison authorities transfer him to Mulago and to end up in the intensive care units? So these people should stop joking with people's lives. Ugandans, civil society, religious leaders, and the international communities to add their voices and demand a political solution to this challenge. This is no longer just a trial. It's a political problem, and it needs a political solution.